Alrighty, you dead set legends. What is going on now? Before I get the formal introductions going, because we, as you can see, we have the man of the moment. I've just got to get in and thank the beautiful people over at Old School Labs. I'll tell you what, they were one of the main sponsors for East versus West, and they had to get on the horn and said, Aussie arm wrestler, we need a bit of your slice of the pie. So enter the code word BANG and you get yourself 12% off, minimum 12% off. Get over there and have a bit of a laugh and order there. And of course, to my amazing Patreon and YouTube bangers, for as little as 50 cents a week, you can support the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and all money goes back into the channel as my international tickets are starting to get booked. But each and every one of you have been amazing and helping out there. As you can see, mate, the names just keep on rolling. Without your support, this channel doesn't work. And of course, let's just get straight into it. This man gave the biggest tongue punch in arm wrestling history. He came, he saw, he conquered. You all saw him at East versus West against Genadi Kivkvinia. Jerry Cadorette, welcome back to the show, my man.
What's up, my man? How are you?
I am always good, but I have to start off with an apology. Because as we all do, Jerry, we all sit there and we all, the one thing I love about sports is we all make our predictions. And I put my hand up solemnly and said, I haven't seen Jerry pull in years. I think I have to go with Genadi. Jerry Cadorette, as true as I'm sitting here, I was wrong. And I do apologize for ever doubting you. Can you forgive me?
It was not just you, right? There was there was
a lot of us.
70% of the people are mistaken and delusional, but it's okay.
So someone now, before I start asking Jerry some questions and things like that, guys, can everyone whack the tongue emoji in the comments section for my man here? Evan McGoyne, just happy. He says, I picked Jerry. Devon's forearm says, ready, bang. Jerry. Everyone is up and about that you are here on the show. And very honored to get the first podcast with you, considering the big, massive win. So that is a huge honor for me, while everyone's just saying congratulations on the big win, Jerry from Buddy Hale. Jeremiah says, I believed in Jerry. Ready, bang. It's never thought of it. Jerry would win from the beginning. Oh, now hang on. Jerry just said 70% of us said that Genadi was going to win, and I've got 100% of people in the comments saying that you were going to win. Someone's lying, and I don't think it's Jerry.
Definitely wasn't me, right? I said I was going to win. I know I said it the entire time, right? But I know the country and the world and everyone else thought otherwise because they hadn't seen me. They act like I was in a grave or some shit for 2 years, right? But I had 1 year, the first year, after my last match with Michael Todd when I got robbed. That year, I kept waiting, right, for WAL because they kept giving me a new deal. And so I wrote it out. Then the following year, I kind of gave up hope that the WAL was coming back. And I ended up said, fuck it, it's going to have to do something different. And went to, start training and staying in shape. And then went to a meet in New York City and ready. And no one showed up. No one showed up that I would have wanted to go against, right? So my buddy was there. So I ended up reffing instead. By making that decision, they pulled me out of the rankings, which I didn't really care about rankings at the time. And then, so whatever. But it brought us to this point. So it seems everything happens for a reason. And when I did get the match with Genadi, I knew he was a beast. I knew he was super tough. I knew it was going to be a war. And I knew he's a true soldier. But the problem is I was ready to go in as a warrior. He was ready to go in as a soldier, right? And I think I would seriously bet a shit ton of money against on Genadi over anyone in the top 5 other than Levin.
Wow.
You know, I know after going against Genadi how strong he was and how strong he is. And he's no joke, right? I mean, he was just ridiculously strong. And he told me, well, his translator told me, that he had come in stronger than he was against Michael. Because when we were talking, it was obviously through a translator.
Yeah.
I asked him what his thoughts were and how he prepared and what was he expecting when he was going against me. And then he said he expected me to be even with Michael Todd. And he said, and he was so much stronger than when he went against Michael Todd. So he said he was ready for a stronger version of Michael Todd, but he said that I amazed him and that I came in much, much stronger than the version of Michael Todd that went against Genadi. So I guess that's a super compliment, coming from Genadi.
Absolutely. Absolutely huge compliment when they say that you're stronger than one of the best to ever do it. White Wolf, thank you very much for your super chat, you dead set legend. He says, congratulations, Jerry. I hope you would win, but I had the bearded one for the win. Thank feck, I was wrong. Ready Fang. Now go pound the piss out of Irby's buddy. Oh, says White Wolf.
Sorry. I expect, 7 out of 10 people that comment should say that they had him anyway, but
I'm always happy to admit when I'm wrong because it's just the sport. It's a great sport. It's one of the best sports in the world. But it's like when you do your football predictions, you get them wrong sometimes. And I should have because you convinced me when we first did a podcast that you would beat Michael Todd in the rematch, and I thought, oh, the way you were speaking with venom, I thought, yeah, maybe Jerry will win that rematch, and I should have gone back to that. So does that, I'm always interested. I don't know why. I'm an idiot, but I'm always interested. Elite athletes like yourself, one of the world's best. Arm wrestling is so accessible. So you jump in the Facebooks and the YouTube comments and that from here and there. Does any of that motivate you at all? Or do you just laugh at it and stick to your own game plan? Because you did drop the old fuck the haters after the match.
I did, and what's funny is I forget my kids are watching, all my employees were watching, everything's in. They come home, they're like, "That's classic line." If I want to put it on my phone, and to all the haters, "Fuck you," right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean it. Obviously, I just use it as fuel, right? I use it as motivation. The days that you don't want to train, the days you don't want to do anything, that your competitor, he's going to be out there training, and you have to have that mindset. So not everyone's going to love you. It's okay, right? But I don't hate when everyone roots against me. I don't hate any of that. I prefer to go in as the underdog because then you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So it is what it is. I truly enjoyed going in there knowing I had to prove to everyone, including obviously you, right, that I had it, right, and that I was prepared. And I can tell you this right now, you're obviously the first person I'm talking to since the thing, right? So that was probably the best version of Jerry, right, strength-wise, that was there. However, I know that what I did to get there, I went in the best version of Jerry, right? But that version of Jerry is about 40% of where I can get to, right? And I know my goal is anyone that they think that should be above me, I want to prove that they shouldn't be. The ultimate goal is obviously I want to get to Levon, right? He's got to take a match, right? He can't sit back and sit in his chair and hide. And if I can obtain that match, right? If that match means I just got to go through Hermes first, that's going to be the next speed bump, right? And I know Hermes is fast, Hermes is young, Hermes is super likable, right? I mean, I hung out with him a bunch when we were out there, and but it is what it is, a speed bump, right? For me, that's something that's in the way of where I want to get to, and so I'm going to train harder, I'm going to train better, I'm going to push myself even harder, and make sure that I get to levels that I've never been to. And the end goal is to go there and dominate, so that when I can get that match with Levon, that I'm going to make sure that that's the war. That's going to be the ultimate challenge. That's going to be what's he going to do when he goes against someone like me? Everyone says they know what they're going to do, but then when they get up there and we go, it's a great match, but I'm still coming out victorious.
So will that be? Oh, we'll jump straight into that then. So is that the win or lose in November against Hermes? Clearly, you don't think you're going to lose, but
no lose.
Yeah. So when would you want that match with Levon? So everything goes according to plan in November. You beat Hermes. When would you want that match? What would be a good little time frame for you?
What are we in now? August? Got 3 months until Hermes. And I keep calling him Hermes, and then I was drunk after the match, right? Like I went over to the bar, and I was with Paul Italia, right? And Paul convinces the bartender to open back up. It's like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning their time. And I was joking, and I was like, "Well, I just beat the Russian. I want a white Russian, right?" And so to put one of them down too, right? And guy made it, and then it was a little small drink. And then I says, "Come on, bud." I go, "Let's make it bigger." He goes, "Bigger is more money." I says, "We don't care about the money, right?" I says, "Just make it bigger." So they made it bigger, and Paul told him to keep them coming. And as people were still coming in and talking, the bar was closed, but they just stayed open for us. And I stopped putting them back, right? And I go 5, 6, right? So 6 doubles, right? It's like 12 drinks. I was feeling pretty good, right? Because I hadn't drank 2 weeks before the meet. So it's funny because someone, everywhere you turn now, people got phones and videos and shit. So I probably got them when I'm in the bathroom. I don't know, right? But
I'll do a breakdown of you taking a piss, mate. Don't worry about that.
So I was laughing, and Hermes was like, "It's Atomies," right? And I'm like, "Why does everyone got to throw slang in there, right?" And I'm like, "Atomies," right? And then he goes, "This, no, Atomies," right? And I'm like, "What the fuck? I have no." I hear what I'm saying. It sounds the same, right? And then, so I'm like, "Atomies," right? And then, he starts laughing, and then someone else like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, "Okay, Atomies," right? And but I don't know. I had fun, right? Until I was then I get drawn over to the arm wrestling table, and I start pulling people, and then my wife was like, "That guy looks like my ex-boyfriend." I was like, "Excuse me," right? And so it was funny, So we started pulling, and it was fuck. I'm gonna screw up his name now. What's his name? He won 3-0. He beat Chance Shaw two times ago.
Sandra Shedez.
What is it?
Sandra Shedez, the Latvian, the tall, bald Latvian.
Yeah, tall, bald guy, right? So I'm like, "Get over here, let's arm wrestle," right? As I'm drunk and beat up, and my kid probably would have beat me, right? And I'm like, "I just got to prove a point to my girl that I'm gonna kick her ex-boyfriend's ass," right? So we get up there, and we go, "All right, boom!" So I pull him over. Then he pulls, and I'm like, I let him hit on me, and then he pulls me over, right? Then I'm pulling him over. Then he pulls me over. Then I'm like, "Oh my god, is that pain?" I'm like, "No, I got no pain. I'm not even human." And I'm letting him hit on my arm, and he gets all his weight on my arm, and I'm like, "Oh no, that's fucking pain." Right? So Engen's like, "Don't pull anymore. Don't pull anymore." I was like, "I know, but fucking this." My wife said it looks like her ex-boyfriend. I was like, "I gotta beat him down."
Oh, the male testosterone. Oh, that is hilarious.
Sorry. I had a great
Oh, mate, it looks like a fun time. I'm hoping to be there in November. So hopefully, we can, well, Hermes is Italian. So hopefully we can have a few Peroni beers together. That's an Italian beer if you win that one. Levan Gasparini says, can you please tell Jerry thank you for the State Kings? A few people had a gamble on you. Phil Woody UK, thank you very much for the super chat. Says, I felt like Jerry won 5-2.
So did I.
Oh, we're going to get round by round. We're going to talk about, anything and everything to come in with that match. What have we got here? Renzo is trying to help you out. He says, pronounce the E the same as you would in America for Hermes Gasparini, which is awesome. So East versus West happens. Starting off with the press conference, were you annoyed that you didn't take Genadi's bet in the end when he challenged you?
No, and let me explain a little bit, right? Because very seldom do I ever get confused, right? And I had made a deal with Engen on that match, and my deal was probably completely different than his deal. I think everyone's deal was different. I don't know, right? I can't talk about anyone else's because I don't know. So I can just talk about mine. And the deal I had made with Engen was I'll take the match, right? Because I'm literally not ranked. And I've got everything I have to prove to people. So, and I planned on going there and doing it, which I did. But the deal I did was he paid for my trip and he was going to pay me a small amount of money to show up, right?
Yeah.
And the money that I was getting to show up, I obviously didn't want him to buy my ticket, and then I have to buy my wife's ticket, and then we're in separate seats. So my wife's ticket was $2,000, right, to go round trip. And so at $2,000, I think we were in the back booth of the plane. We probably had to clean the shit up. And so we wanted to upgrade our seats. So we didn't up them to first class, but we upped them to row 6, which is the first row behind first class because I wanted more room, right? Because I'm not a small dude. So it was $500 each to upgrade. So there's another $1,000. So now $3,000's gone, right? No money, zero. And so I says, okay, whatever. Then Hermes. Look, I'm already focused on the match. Then Genadi, he threw out that comment that, do we want to go double or nothing on the winnings? I was like, the winnings. So I'm trying to think. I'm like, am I getting paid to win too? I'm like, fuck, what do I get paid more money? I got nothing. Like I didn't get any money. You know what I mean? So it was like, I'm trying to establish what money is he talking about? And then I'm thinking, so then when I got floored and stopped and stuttered and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then that, he's talking about the money that I gave up because I came with the wife. He came alone, right? He came with his trainer. And so then I was kind of putting it together. And then I was thinking, how do I know how much he's getting, right? And, I'm like, I want whatever the fuck he's getting, right? But do I have to match whatever he's getting, right? So I'm like, I don't know the parameters. I don't know the specifics and whatnot. And then he just said, forget it. So I had set a side bet later, and it was like, I'll do a bet with you. I don't care. I said, and I wanted to throw into the bet that I'm sure you probably saw the video I did. And said, you got to shave your beard if you lose. And he didn't want any part of that.
Nah, because after the press conference, I made a little fun video. I was like, oh, Genadi destroyed Jerry. Jerry was fumbling, just a fun little video. But it's always cool to hear the backstory. And a man that treats their wife like first class is always good with me. As everyone that follows the channel knows my love for Mrs. Aussie Arm Wrestler. Now, all right, let's get right into it. Five rounds. We're gonna go round by round because this was an absolute banger. Now, round one. Let's have a look. I thought it was a very lucky call to go into the straps. You slipped pretty low, and then Genadi got outside your shoulder, and slammed you down round one. So of course, whilst I was calling the action, I was a bit like, oh no, don't bloody. I was just thinking, if Jerry gets inside his shoulder, we've got a match. But what were your thoughts round one? And it basically all didn't go the way you would think.
I was pissed at myself round one, and I had no idea what his ultimate goal was, how he was going to pull me, because everyone talked about how he's versatile and he can go inside, outside, up, down, in, out, whatever. He's got a press. He's got this, and so again, I was anxious to figure out what the hell he was going to do. So first match we go, and like you said, he definitely had, strong, great hit. He pulled me over, right? And I planned on hitting first, and he caught my hit. He hit back, and he was able to bring me over a bit. And then, like you said, he brought me down low, but I slipped, right? So then we got the straps, and I says, okay, in the straps, I love the straps. And
yes.
So in the straps, I felt confident that I could dive in, and then I used that to my advantage, because I'll tell you, on that stage, it was super hot, right?
Oh, I was getting tired for you. I was watching you breathe.
I was
losing air.
I was covered in sweat before the match started, right? Those spotlights, I'm like, I don't know how prudent it can be an actor if he's going to be under those spotlights all the time. So I thought I was getting a tan, right? And so that was difficult for me, because now my hand's super slippery. So we go, and I go to dive in. He goes out. Now I'm going to give up the wrist. I hit, and then Genadi has a great surge, right? And I was not expecting him to have that strong of a surge. So we're in the straps, and I said, oh, fuck, now I'm way out of position.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't want to get myself into a situation where I'm out of position, and if I try to stop him and hold back, right, I'm going to run a risk of getting hurt, right? And so he surged again, and then he got the win, which it is what it is.
That's all right. That's all right. Jerry comes back with a vengeance. So round two is the beginning of the referees. You got inside your shoulder where you wanted to be. You got inside your shoulder, and then you were tired enough. You just said how hot it was. You're exhausted, and then mid-match, you're like, it's passion. You weren't like screaming at the referee, but you were yelling, and you're like, elbow.
Oh,
How did you have all the energy? One, to get it all right after a disappointing first round. Two, to scream at the ref mid-round, and then still get the pin.
Well, I think second round, I knew like I told you, I was pissed that I let myself get screwed up the first round. So I knew I couldn't go down 2-0, right? And so you had to put it all on the line. It was all or nothing for me on that second round, because I've said the whole time going into this meet that whoever wins the second round was going to win the tournament. And so figuring the first round, we were going to figure each other out, right? And then second round was going to establish who's going to be the better arm wrestler. And that's just, again, that's my mind. I don't know what Genadi's thoughts were, but that was my mentality going in. So when we were going, and I get that the fact that they wanted to not end the match on a foul, not stop it and pronounce a winner on the foul. I wouldn't have wanted to win on fouls. I wouldn't have wanted to lose on fouls. But I do think that, and I wrote a comment today that I believe the refs should have voiced their observations that, hey, your elbow's coming off the back, your elbow's coming off the front, get it on. I'm not giving you a foul. I'm just giving you a warning to get it on, right? Because to me, if it slips off, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, it ain't like you're doing it on purpose. But when you pull it off and leave it off, now I'm going to get pissed, right? And everyone was saying my elbow was coming off the front. I don't believe that my elbow came. I believe that my elbow could have come off the front, like if the pad is like, oh, fuck, I'm trying to do this. Say this is the pad. I think my elbow could have come off here, but I don't think my elbow went down in the middle of the table. I did throw some chalk down there to see, but I don't think my elbow came off the front and then dropped onto the table, right? Because ideally, I want to stay in tight to my body and pin this way, right? Because I'm going to be stronger with my shoulder closer. Why the fuck would I want to do it way out here? Like if I can do this, or I'm going to have to do this, I'm all the way open. I don't want to choose to be on his side of the table. That's where the opponent pulls you and they're coming around. That's how people defend my move. So I was yelling and screaming, right? Because
great. It was entertaining for me.
yeah. I'm passionate, right? I want to win. And I want it to be, again, I wasn't trying to get him fouled. I just tried to get him to put his elbow back on the pad.
Yeah. Yes, right? But when you're mid-match in an absolute battle, you can't speak articulate like that. I can't see you in the Jerry press licking your bloody lips going, excuse me, referee, can you please allow Genadi Kivkvinia to please have an opportunity to put his elbow on the table? All you can think of is elbow.
Right.
Translate this. Elbow.
Right. Exactly.
It was awesome. Marcus Thompson, you dead set legend. Thank you very much for the mega super chat all the time. You know how much I love you, Marcus, and the support you do for the channel. He says, Jerry, incredible match. You had to fight everyone at the table, refs included. 2 warriors of the highest standard on show. Some great moments from Paul chasing Hermes was quality. All jokes aside, Paul was a great wingman to you. Yes, it was a little photo where Hermes was just like, all right, fella, you're a bit too drunk. Can you leave me alone? We've all seen it. We've all had a bit of laugh, but I believe Paul's intentions are for the good of the sport. He's come on the show with Lachlan Adair before, and we've had a bit of a laugh and a chat. But thank you so much, Marcus Thompson, about it. And can you comment on that at all, Jerry? Because you've just mentioned you were quite drunk as well. So you probably thought everything was awesome.
Yeah, I was allowed, right? I hadn't drank and no drinks in 2 weeks before the meet. I won't drink. And
and you're exhausted as well. You would have been dehydrated as anything. So you would have got drunk even quicker.
Oh, yeah. I sweat. Oh, man, my clothes were just saturated wet. And then let's talk about how I had to take my shirt off, right?
That's round 3. The new Sylvester Stallone. Stallone just does the hat backwards. Jerry's thing now, that's got to be your gimmick. I just wish that the live stream would have hit the slow motion button and put a nice little tune in the background. That's going to be the new montage now. You've got the tongue punch, and now you took the shirt off. Because it was for a guy that sweats profusively, how hard was it to get the shirt off?
Well, let's talk about this for a sec, right? I get the shirt. We got to try them on. Now mine was a 5X, but I guess 5X in Europe is maybe it was a 5X woman's. I don't know, right? I put it on. I was like, what the freak? And this thing's a 5X. At first, I see 5X. And I'm thinking this thing's going to be ginormous, right? I asked for a 3X. And first thing I do, right? We're in the press conference when we got them. I walk over to Genadi's. I peel the back of it. And I'm like, what size is yours? And then he's like, 4X, right? And I says this, oh, shit, mine's a 5X and it's super tight. I guess I'm just that much bigger and stronger, right? I just wanted to have fun, but I God's honest truth, I did that, right? And so now have it on, right? And it's like that tight material.
Yeah.
And you get in a battle and you start straining and pushing and pulling and wanting to win. Your body's going to expand a bit, right? You're going to blow up a little bit. So I started to blow up. Well, now the shirt's getting even tighter. Then it's covered in sweat. So the shirt felt like it was getting tighter on me too. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I'm ready to rip the freaking thing off. I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. I'm having like a panic attack. So I take the thing off and I'm like, holy shit. I was like, I can't even breathe. And thankfully, Paul and the wife are there. Paul's putting ice on my back to try to cool me down, which worked perfect. And then the wife's got the towels trying to wipe my face. I'm like, I can't even fucking breathe. You're stopping the
Your wife's suffocating you.
right? He's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you're fine. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a dick, right? And damn, I'm just like an asshole, right? And so she's like, I won't touch anything. So I just used the towel. I was wiping my own face, and I go to put the shirt back on before the next match, and Paul's like, fuck the shirt. He goes, if it's that tight, don't wear it. And he yelled over to Engen. He goes, the shirt's too tight. He can't wear it. Engen's like, okay, right? And he let me go with the tank top on. Luckily, I had a shirt on. Otherwise, I would have pulled a Mike Aiello.
Yeah, that was going to be my next thing. That was
I would have lost the shirt, lost the pants. I would have lost it all, right? So I didn't care. But yeah, so I luckily didn't put the shirt back on, and I'm gonna have to up that to like a 7X or something for the next one.
Yeah, you and Katie Mary got stitched up big time. That is for sure. They gave you the smaller shirts. I just knock over some chats from these awesome people in the comments. 155 people joining. Big Daddy, Lickety Lips, Jerry Cadorette, and the Aussie Arm Wrestler. Thank you so much. Says Jerry, loser gets a tattoo is always the best bet. You should have insisted he get Big Daddy was here tattooed on his forearm. Totally agree. The refs should have given you some warning. Thank you very much for your super chat, White Wolf. Freddie Bain, congrats, Jerry. You did New England proud, which was awesome.
Thank you.
What else? What else have we got in the chat? Everyone's just all saying g'day to each other and having a bit of a chat. People are staying up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. to check this one out. Ryan Dragon with a huge super chat. Thank you very much. He says, elbow, Engen. We're going to get to that, Ryan. Don't worry about that. Classic. Congrats and good luck against Hermes. Can't wait for that match, which is good. I'll leave that up there. Guys, I may miss a lot of your comments. You guys are coming in thick and fast, and I do apologize. We want to talk about the matches, and in between each round, guys, I'll get to some of the comments, so I do apologize if I miss them. Shirt comes off. Yeah, you guys have a battle. Then it was decided you finally got the elbow foul called. Now, round 3 on the restart.
No, hey, I won with a pin. I didn't win any matches on a foul.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The restart in round 3. So the elbow foul was called. The restart was like basically a flash pin. Like, one, because you were knackered, so that would have been relieving. But what did that feel like? Just in the, like, smack bang in the middle of the battle, and you just turned in and got him.
He tried to go inside with me. And I'm sure to this day right now, he's saying, why did I do that? And I kind of baited him into wanting to go inside well before the match when we did like a pregame show or whatever. And I said, we're going to go on the hook, right? And he goes, yeah, right? And so he thinks he's, going to be able to go on the hook with me, but that was a mistake, right? That was a mistake by him.
It was massive. It was so good. It was so good. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, he's 2-1 up. He's 2-1 up. The shirt of restriction says arm wrestling fan. Captain Obvious says Jerry needs a bigger helmet too. We'll talk about that afterwards. That was one of the funniest things because you've got that. Because I go back to the eating contest story when you first come on the show. You had that same face telling the story and a helmet that didn't fit. So I was just like, man, that's just Jerry to a T. I thought that was awesome. What else have we got in the chat? Best James Bond. We'll talk about Michael Todd a little bit later. I just want to do the match. What have we got here? Performance Enhancing Pancake says, when Jerry yelled at Engen, I died laughing. Made the whole card weird. Which was good. Ex-Monster R says, Jerry rode into town, shot them all up, and kept on going. Atlantis IRL has just said, hey, if I could vote, I'd vote for you, Jerry. He says, Jerry for president. That'd be amazing. First thing he would do would get arm wrestling into the Olympics.
Absolutely.
Everyone's being awesome. Where'd that one go? Dungeon Master said, congrats on Jerry on his performance. Great work. Ready, bang. Round 4. It was it was the battle of the deliberate fouls.
Yep.
He's trying to pull you off the front of the pad. You're trying to shove him off the back of the pad. Round 4 was awesome. You were copping the hits like there was no tomorrow. And then round 4, was it round 4 or round 5? You were talking to Engen. Was it in between round 4 and round 5? You started talking to Engen?
Well, no, I believe it was round 5 when Genadi had his elbow way off the back of the pad, and I saw
about
some
2.5 meters. I think it was. I think his elbow was about that.
Yeah, I thought it was over in the seat, right? Seat where he came from.
Engen could touch it. Engen could push it back.
Yeah. But it was way off, right? So, and I'm pushing, and he's now leveraging because it's off the pad so much that his forearm is on the pin pad, right? And he's almost like he's leveraging it. So now I got to beat the leverage and him, right? And I'm fully open. So I was pissed, right? And I'm looking right at it, and I've seen some awesome pictures, right, that people have made, and you can see the ref's head right there looking at it, and you see me looking. I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at, right? Then so some people made these memes or GIFs, whatever they're called, right?
Yeah.
And googly-eyed person says, everything looks good to me, right? And so I'm like, all right, they're not calling it. Obviously, they don't like me, right? And
a vendetta against you.
Yeah, Genadi had people at their family's house. If they called a foul, they were going to kill him, right? So I says, fuck it, I'm just going to have to win with him off the back of the pad, I guess. So as I push down, and I'm going for the pin anyway, with him off the pad and me going all the way across the table, I was able to get it. As I get the pin, he grabs Genadi's hand and then says, elbow foul. I says, you're out of your fucking mind, right? Like, you are not calling a fucking foul now. As I win, you're going to call a foul? I says, that shit should have been called 10 seconds ago, right? And so then I felt like this is absolute trash, right? And that's when I went over and said, Engen, everyone can see this on TV. I says, look at the replay and make the right call. That's a foul in a losing position at the worst case, or it's just I won. I already pinned him. So we sit there, we're waiting and waiting and waiting. They come back and said this. Okay, we're gonna go again. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? So I was like, okay, right. I guess I'm just fucked, right? And then so I knew I'd have to do it again. But then when they set us up to go again, Genadi had a quick hit. He got the jump, and I had to pull back. And once I could get myself tight and right, and then I would just inch my shoulder over and got behind it, I knew at that moment I saw Genadi's face, right? He knew I'd now got my shoulder there to block. And he knew that in his face, he just gave up, right? So then as I pushed, and then I surged. It was enough to get that final pin. And
I think one of my favorite things was I can't remember what round it was. I keep laughing now. You pinned and they ended up calling it elbow foul, but you just screamed, winner!
Yeah. Right in his face.
That's one of the best things. I loved it. I think just like your sound bites throughout the matches, winner, and I was just
Yeah.
And it just made me, and then your face when they're like, "Oh no, it was an elbow foul," and it was the best. What some of these guys
after they said it was an elbow foul, he turned around like, he's like growling at me like a fucking coyote or something. Right?
Levan thought it was hilarious. Cheers from Mildura, Australia. Cheers to you, Queenslander. What else have we got? Jerry is a radical. Yeah, make sure everyone subscribes to Jerry. Absolutely. I mean, if you subscribe to the Aussie Arm Wrestler, you clearly subscribe to one of the best in the world. let's get him to 10,000 subs ASAP because
Yeah,
the man's got to
I love Australia.
hurry up and come back. Have you been?
What? I've never been.
Well, hurry up. We've got to, yeah. See, that's why I want my channel to grow so big because, like, if I get all you guys, you know, to promote my channel, then I will start paying for you guys to come over. That's my ultimate goal, to try and help build arm wrestling here in Australia and around the world. But I would love it if this channel was doing real well and I was like, all right, Jerry, what is it? You, your wife, hotel flights, and this is how we can make money around Australia. That's definitely a goal for me. Alex Clark jumps in with a super chat. Thank you very much. He says, Jerry, awesome match. Everyone who doubted you is a fool. You're a man amongst children. Maybe we'll see you to take on Levan at some point. We spoke about Levan earlier, but we'll deep dive into that a little bit later on, which is good. Yep, some people are happy. Engan, winner! That I reckon if I can work it out, that might be my new message tone. I would love it. What else have we got? Engan's face when Jerry won was priceless. I think that would be an awesome. I think that would be a real wicked video, myself included. A lot of us, when you won the 5th round, I think a lot of us were just like, I know, I was screaming. I was like, that was awesome. And like I said to you earlier, I was wrong. Best James Bond, very impressive performance. I was one of the doubters beforehand. What else have we got? Interesting question here from Jewel. First of all, just Brian Damage in the memory says, congrats, Jerry, from Arizona. Does Jerry feel the East take arm wrestling more serious and professional than the West?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
I think that the East is like a dream team, right? And if you just look at the talent that they had there representing, and versus the West that was there, and I mean, obviously, I believe that the East, their talent pool is all young. If you look at the age caliber of the East that went in, right? I think Artem is what, 24, 26. Genadi 34. Hermes is 28. These people are my kids' age, right? And so I'm like, what the fuck? And just to see the multitude of talent that they have for the years to come is crazy. And they take it serious. They eat, sleep, and breathe arm wrestling, where like I have a job that I got to go do all day. So I do 55 hours a week at work, come home, want to play with my kids, and then have to squeeze in some workouts in. And these people, you cut them, and I think arm wrestling falls out, right? And so I know that my heart is arm wrestling, right? And unfortunately, my schedule does not as flexible for arm wrestling, right? And I've always said if I was capable of dedicating my time and efforts to arm wrestling the way that others do, I'd be in heaven, or I'd be in the poorhouse, right? So I don't know if heaven and the poorhouse are the same, but it would just be the level of how good I would be insane, right? Because these people, I talk to most of them, and it's like that's all they do is train.
Yeah, and that's this, you've got to get your priorities, but hopefully now we can get in a purple patch where you get some big money matches. Hopefully, actually that's a shout out to you, Ryan. He's just saying, Aussie, Jerry. Have King of the Table got in contact with you?
They have contacted me. The last one that was going on, Adam called me and asked me if I wanted to go against Alex, right? Cadorette. And I would not take the match because it was only going to give me less than 4 weeks to go against Genadi, right? And Had I not had the match with Genadi, I would have taken the match with Alex, right? Because I wanted to prove myself and get up there. But obviously, I felt like Genadi was the better opponent. And Alex is a great guy, and I'm not taking anything away from him. I just think that Genadi has got more talent than most of them. He's got a little more experience, and he's got a real impressive track record. He has multiple WAF wins. He's gone against so many good opponents. He just beat Dave Chafee. He just beat Michael Todd. So I looked at it. I was the last American soldier to be able to go over there and had to defend my my country, right? Before Genadi took everyone out.
Wow, yeah, you certainly were amazing in that aspect. 3Speed says, Jerry, you're the effing man. I couldn't believe it was a shutout stake on you. It was an easy bet on arm bet for me. Thanks, big guy. What are your thoughts about gambling in arm wrestling now? Because you've been around the traps for years, and there's been side bets, and we'd turn up and we'll chuck $10 or a few vodkas on this matchup. But now we have it officially. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it, right? And I think it makes it that much more interesting. I loved it even more that I was a shutout bet, right? So all I had to do was win one match, right? I was going to win. So I was like, okay. And I'm like, I can't do it under my name. I don't know if you can or can't. So obviously I have plenty of family, so I just had them place the bet. But listen, I don't know who makes the handicaps. I don't know who it was, but I thanked them immensely, right? I wanted to keep it the same for the next one, right? So I want to see what I am for the next one, what I'm favoring.
Wow,
right?
yeah, I think you've done your dinner there. I think it won't be a shutout stake against Hermes. Boba Foot says Jerry's tongue alone is stronger than Chuck Norris. I'll tell you that tongue, when you get it out there, that's in full effect, and we've spoken about it before. It's like Michael Jordan, isn't it? It's just a natural thing. You can't control it. And when it's in full force, man, we love it.
I know.
Do you ever look back at it over your career and just think, oh my God, my tongue is still out there? Because obviously you don't know, if you do know that you're doing it, but it's interesting during a match that it just naturally comes out.
Yeah, it's not intentional, obviously, right?
No.
Usually when I'm having trouble breathing, right? And well, not so much trouble, but I'm trying to breathe faster, harder, deeper, right? And I'm one of those people that I try to make sure you continue breathe. Well, yeah, everyone has to breathe or you die, but I like to be able to make sure that you're breathing good when you're competing. But at some points, it's funny. Like I look at it like it's when you got the dog in the car and you're driving, it's so I'm like, man, I look like that fucking Labrador that's driving down the road and he's got his tongue out the window. But I don't know. It's funny.
Jerry the Labrador, Cadorette. Just quickly, 3Speed. I forgot to say thank you very much for your super chat. It is greatly appreciated. Alex Clark with another super chat. Thank you very much. Sometimes I forget my manners. I do apologize. Jerry, did you feel after round one that you were stronger even though you lost that one? Did you feel it was just a matter of time to get your spots in?
I felt as though I screwed up, right? And so after round one, as I was started to say, I had a game plan going in, and it didn't go the way I wanted. And I now knew I had to adjust, and could not, because Genadi is a rare bird. He hits, and rather than most people, after they hit, they have to breathe. He hits and then hits again, right? And most people, you want to time your hit to be right after they breathe. If they hit and then they're going to take a breath, always, okay, now's your time to attack is when they're breathing. You hit because they're not as strong. And if you watch, Genadi was like an animal. He hit, then he hit again. And I was like, where the fuck did that come from? And so it's like, I screwed that up. But so the adjustments that I had to make between round one and round two was A, don't let my hand get so far out. And two, stay in tight for multiple hits. Be ready for repetitive hits, where I was not the first round.
There you go. Straight there. There's a science to it. There is an absolute science to this great sport. Wesley B says, Jerry, you are the man, as everyone's just having a laugh. Question here from Optimal Rice. Says, hey, Jerry, congrats on the big win. It was incredible. What did you listen to before you stepped up to the table?
The Eminem. And I like Eminem, right? And it's always, one of a couple songs. And but the funny thing is, I won't listen to either one of those two songs when I work out. The only time I listen to them is right before I compete. So that way, it's not a song you hear over and over and over. And if I hear it on the radio, I change the channel.
Wow, that's different. See, when I like I've got my pump up songs, but I could listen to them like a million times a day, and it would still give me that same feeling. And once again, you're shocking the world. Everyone's like, Jerry likes Eminem. Who would have thought? Jerry's dropping bars. Maybe you can go against Prudnick in a rap battle. That would be pretty cool.
Well, I'll get crazy.
You can drop some bars. So round 5 happened. I did like there was the slip, and once again you're pretty dangerous in the slip. But it was no, and walked off as if you're going to the straps and things like that. That came in. We had double elbow fouls. It just went nuts. Round 5 went nuts. How did you feel? Like, can you describe the elation, the feeling of getting that big pin, especially after having like 2.5 years, 3 years not pulling competitively?
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable, right? And it was everything that I worked for. It was everything came together, and it was like that final piece to the puzzle was put in, right? And made it so I was super proud, happy, everything all in one, and knowing that it was that much work to get done. And as I told you, I knew it was not going to be an easy match. I knew none of the matches were going to go easy. Round 3 went easy because he screwed up and went inside, but otherwise everyone was a war. And so when you are able to pull that off and you come out on top and you won, I knew that last match that I was tired, right? But I knew he was tired, right? And my motto is I don't have to last forever. I just got to last 1 second more than him. And I've been in, countless long battles, right? So when it comes down to endurance, I'll put my endurance against anyone's endurance, right? And because my passion to win and my passion to make sure that I don't give up is second to none. So you're going to win with heart, right? And my heart is in this sport unbelievably, right? I mean, I've been doing this sport for 33 years, right? And so when Genadi was like 1, right? I was right? And so you can't take that away from anyone, right? If they're so dedicated and so driven to do well in this sport and it means so much to them, I don't care how much someone trains. I don't care how much, they're dedicated to, they want to be the best. You put that up against passion, I'll take passion and drive all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about the ticker when push comes to shove, and that not only just in arm wrestling, in life as well, for sure. Guys, if you can quickly jump out of the live chat, hit the like button. Let's get the likes straight up there to 150. Like this video. It would be very, very appreciated. The helmet and the shield. Are you a fan of it?
I mean, the helmet was snug, right? I think I'm being facetious. I think it was more like super tight, but he wasn't planning on a big melon, right? And but yeah, I think that the craftsmanship was, crazy. And I was so nervous going to the airport, right? I got this big shield, and I'll tell you that the airport in Istanbul, we went to the one that was like an hour away from the meet, not the little one that's right near the event, but the holy shit, I thought I had to take my shoes off when I got in the airport, right? The place looks like a high-end mall, right? It's huge and super nice. So we go through security, and I'm like, they're not going to let me take a shield on the plane. And so we get to the first one. They didn't even look at it. They just went right through, right? we get to the second one, right? There's another checkpoint where they check your bags again, right? So I'm like, oh, fuck, right? I was like, now they're going to take it. And went through, and all they said was, what's that? I says, it's a trophy. Right? And I'm trying not to use the word shield, right? And then they're like, okay, right? And then just let me walk through. I was like, oh, I could have said it was a gun, right? And I was like, okay. Then I'm like, well, I'm home free now. But now we get down to our gate, like a 30-minute walk, and then they make everyone open. They open everyone's bag to check what's in it. I'm like, oh shit! Now they're gonna open it up and see the shield. What are they gonna say to me? So we get over there, and the dude looks at me, and he goes, "This, are you that arm wrestler?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me. That's me. That right here. That's me. See this right here? I won this arm wrestling, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Devin Larratt, right?" And I said, yeah, that's me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the better looking version. And so I'm like, he goes, "This, no, I see you go against Devin Larratt." I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever, right? And I'll say anything to get me through security, right? And but I was like, honey, you see that? He knows me, right?
Yeah.
So
it would have been.
I go, check out that shield. I just won that. And then he's opening up, and he goes, "Oh, Ingan Terzi," right? And it says, "Yeah, it was his meat. It's his shield." Blah, 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 right? And I was like, all right, I'm home free now. He ain't gonna take it, right? Although if anything, he might have been like, I'm gonna take it because this was Jerry's, right? So I was like, I would have let him keep it. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It does look cool. I mean, they're big and clunky and awkward to take on a plane, a 12-hour flight back home. But yeah, they would look cool keeping it. Did you have your first dinner off it? Did you just stick it in the middle of the dining table and have your first dinner off the shield? That's what I would have done. I mean, hell, the greatest trophy in arm wrestling history. I've had a few drinks out of this bad boy. So big shield like that, absolutely. Now, I love, because they're all over the shop, I love talking about rankings. So what I want to know with you, Jerry, is do you see yourself as number 2 in the world?
Yeah. Yep. I'm sure some people are going to have their own version, and which is fine, right? But I don't think I can be any lower than 3 because I have that much respect for Genadi, right? And I get it that you got that mix of, say, 7 or 8 people that you throw those cards out there in any given day. How are they going to fall? It depends on the lineup. It depends on this one. Styles make matches. Everyone's got their 2 cents to throw in. But if I sat here and told you I saw myself less than number 2, that'd be doubting myself and doubting my ability. And no one knows my ability better than me, right? And I know if driven and trained and passionate and whatnot, and preparation provided, I'm going to make sure that I win the match. So I truly believe that, I shouldn't be lower than 3. If you want to give, Aramis the number 2, only based on the fact that a year ago he beat Genadi when Genadi was just coming back from an injury, I still think this version of Genadi, would give Aramis a true battle. And I mean this 100%. I would put however much money up needed to put Genadi against any one of those people just to prove how good he is and how impressed I was at how strong he was. So against any of those people that people question about being in the top 6, right? So I don't know where the cards fell and where they're going to throw me. Everyone's ranking system is their own 2-cent version, right? Because it's all, of course. Right? So I know I took over the top spot back here And that pissed Michael off, but whatever, right? And
well, let's talk about that.
okay,
Let's talk about that. So you see yourself as number one in North America. Obviously, if you see yourself as number two in the world, I've read a lot of the comments happening on Facebook. What were your thoughts with all? Because I know you have a good relationship with Michael, so this isn't trying to slag him off or anything like that. You have a good relationship with him. But what were your thoughts with that whole back and forth?
Michael's a good competitor, right? And when I say good competitor, I mean like he's a good friend. He's a good person. Everything is good about
100%.
Michael. And I would never sit here and say anything bad about him. And I'd buy him dinner. He stayed at my house, right? And so he did. He came over and stayed over my house last year. And so I have nothing bad to say about Michael. And any champion is going to say that they should be better, right? That they think that they can beat this person or whatever. But I'm also that way, right? And then you just mathematically, 1 + 1 is 2, right? 2 + 2 is 4, right? Michael had his chance against Genadi and couldn't do it, right? Michael keeps, flashbacks to our match in 2019. And I don't know if he bumped his head or whatever he did, but he won on a foul, right? That I shouldn't have got on a strap that, was faulty. And I stayed at the table. I wanted to go again. I lifted my elbow up on purpose to take the foul to get the restart. Not so the straps that were junk, I'm going to put my elbow back down when I picked it up on purpose. Right? I picked it up on purpose because the strap was no good. If that's the case, I should have just jacked it over to the left. But instead, I did the right thing politically right and just lifted it up so I could take the foul. Not jerking him across, trying to hurt him, trying to do whatever. Because otherwise, I could have just pulled to my side of the table and would have pulled Michael off the pad and would have did it too. But I'm not that dick, right? So, whatever, right? So, still love Michael, right? And, if he's another guy, if you cut him, arm wrestling bleeds out. So he's great for the sport. I love what he's doing with this Monster Factory and doing tons of meets over there. And I tell you that Corey West, I believe, is also a prodigy for the future. But he can't be ranked above me. He came in phenomenal shape, went against Genadi and lost. Genadi came to me in better shape. He had already told me that he was in much better shape than when he went against Michael. That's coming straight from Genadi. And then I came in way better shape, right? So when I went against Michael in 2019, everyone needs to remember, I'll go get my medical thing. I had Lyme disease. I didn't know, right? And then I just came off I had Lyme meningitis when I went against Michael, right? So, and then the match before, which was the month before, I pulled Todd Hutchins and beat him 3-0. I tore my brachial radius in my arm. It was all bruised, right? So I couldn't train. So I didn't train, had Lyme meningitis, still go into the match and still beat him, right? And then get to the end where, Michael's going to take the win on fouls, whatever. That's fine. That's your choice to take it on fouls. And I mean, I was pissed, and I let it go, right? But as we're talking about it 2.5 years later, but whatever.
I'm not angry at all. But has there been talks about you two going head to head?
Well, this is the part that pisses me off, right? I said I wanted to go against him, right? WA had it set up. We were supposed to do it. Michael didn't want the match, right? He's like, oh, he has to go against Corey before he's going to go against me. Now, because I wasn't ranked at that time, they were taking me out of the rankings because I had been dormant, right? So Michael had nothing to gain by that. Well, guess what? Karma's a bitch, right? So now I'm ranked number 1, right? I have nothing to gain by pulling Michael. So no, I don't want to pull you.
Wow. There we go.
Payback's a bitch, right? So, but he's going to drop weight anyway. He's dropping weight and he's going to go against Prudnick. And that's going to be a difficult match because Michael and Todd Hutchins just had a match and they were neck and neck. and Michael ended up having to use the press to beat him. Who do you learn that from? Me, right? Now he's going to go against Prudnick, who Prudnick just cleaned house with Todd Hutchins. I was super shocked with that match. I thought Todd would stop him to be an ultimate war, but it didn't go that way.
There you go. Well, I do hope you change your mind, and I do hope you have that match with Monster Michael Todd. I really enjoyed that insight.
Yeah, I would have it, but it would not fare well for Michael, especially if he's going to stay down lightweight, 240, 250. It would be like me, they're picking on someone.
Love it. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone that is in there. We've just got a couple of more things because Jerry's quite a busy man, so I do appreciate his time. 181 people in here. Hit that like button for me. You're dead set legends. I'll get to some comments and then a couple of more questions. We might wrap up. White Wolf, thank you very much. You stud. He says, for me, it's a toss-up between Devon and Jerry for their passion for the sport. You guys just live and breathe arm wrestling. He's laughing his ass off at your custom story when it comes to the Shield.
Thank you.
What else? I think
people. That's White Wolf. You guys got all the coolest names in the world,
mate. I got the coolest people here in the chat. Swisher Sweet says, I think Ermi's match is a number one contender match. Loser should pull Vitali.
I agree.
Of course, there you go. What else have we got? It's Marcus is talking about the rankings. It's so messed up because Alex crushes Hermes and depends what Devon's got in his head, whether Devon stays heavy or goes down.
Marcus, I just watched Alex and Hermes pulling the day before on Friday. They were pulling and Hermes was crushing them.
Hermes has certainly leveled up since their match. That is for sure. Zama reckons Hermes is a tougher opponent than Genadi for you, Jerry, stylistically.
Is it a question or is that a statement that he's saying?
Just a statement. Just a statement.
I think that Hermes he's obviously a top roller. I like Nicolia, right? But he is a top roller, right? And I told him, I says, let's go inside too. Right? And he says, no, right? And so I think he's quick. He's got a better top roll than Genadi, but he's not as strong as Genadi, right? And so I think that he's going to have to do something with speed. But I know that I went against, Travis when Travis was the best in the world, super fast. And I don't think there's really anyone that's faster than Travis was. And when Travis was on his game and in the best shape of his life, and he went against me when he was 290 pounds and he hit like a freight train, I was able to absorb the hit, catch it, come back. And that was also an epic battle. But, me and Travis faced each other probably 10 times and I won 9 of them. But so I think Hermes is going to be a little bit lesser version of what Travis was. And I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Hermes. I think that, down the road, he's got so much up potential. I think he's just about here right now. Where is his ceiling? I don't know. I mean, I think
through the roof.
Young, impressionable, and likable, and he's a great guy.
Hermes is great. I had him on the show last week, and he's just unbelievable. As everyone's just having a bit of a.
What did he say about my match coming up for when I went against Genadi?
What did who say?
Hermes.
I don't think we spoke about that. I don't think because we didn't go through the East versus West card.
How could you not ask that question?
Actually, hang on.
Knowing that the winner was going against Hermes, how could you not ask?
No, we would have spoken about it. I'll have to go back and check it out. For you, and I'll.
Remember that bad? You can't remember what you talked about last week on your own show?
Because all I do is just talk arm wrestling. I am that bad, Jerry. I am that bad. You bloody jerk. No, I'm only joking. Jamie Sheldon in the chat. He says, hey, Jerry, I knew it. What up, Jake? Cheers, Jamie Sheldon. He just sits there. What else are people saying? Yeah, people are just talking about the so many comments. I really appreciate it, guys. 187 people in here. I'll have to scroll up a bit. Now, before we get into our final questions from you guys in the chat and one question that I have, quick game, Jerry, when people come on the show, you've played it before. I'm going to give you the names of 3 people. You got to pin one, you got to lose one, and you got to tell one of them you're not allowed to arm wrestle or YouTube for 12 months. You're banning them. And, of course, we've got Monster Michael Todd, Hermes Gasparini, and Levan Saganishvili.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and pin Levan.
Well, that's where that was going.
Yeah. That way I take over the number 1 spot. And then I'm going to ban Michael, because he's been a bitch on the fucking the Facebook comments. And I'm going to, oh, damn, if I say I'm going to let Hermes win, I'm going to get next. Right? So that's kind of a twisted trio there. So, yeah, whatever. I'll let him have 1 win, and I'll just come back and sweep him 3-0.
There we go. That's why I love the game. Just a quick one. It is a bit of fun. Now, with the we'll get to some questions in the comments soon, guys, and we'll pick out some of the best ones to quickly ask Jerry before we wrap up. But right now, Jerry, do you feel you have a chance with Levan?
The Jerry today would not, right? But the Jerry that if I get the match and I'll prepare for the match, I will undoubtedly devote my training and technique and my weight, my strength, my everything will escalate from where it is right now. Like I told you, it's probably like a 40% of my capabilities is where I went in at, but I was 100% better than the previous Jerry, right? So that was the best version of Jerry that's competed, right? But it doesn't mean that was a maxed out Jerry, right? I just knew I was coming in at like, I told people I would come in about 80% better than what I used to be, right? And I went in, and I'm sure I was about that, right? And so I know that, I was lifting 2 to 3 days a week, right? Half-ass, right? I was lifting with my 3-year-old. That was my spot. It was my 3-year-old, right? And so he's getting so strong, too. He's doing pull-ups and shit, right? He's my motivation now, right? But
awesome.
It's funny when he goes to, like, I got a cable crossover machine. I'm doing pulleys. I'm doing whatnot. And he sees me do it. Now he wants to go do it. So I just got to make sure I pull the pin real quick so he doesn't get pissed off. Because he grabs it and tells me it's stuck. And I says, oh, hold on, I'll fix it. And I try to pull the pin without him seeing it. And then he pulls it. And then he's trying to arm wrestle with it. So future world champ. But so I'm sorry.
How long would it take? Like if someone said, right, we got 50K on the line, you versus Levan, you get to pick the date, Jerry. When would that be?
4 months. Let's do it in Dubai.
Okay, so you would just want 4 months of Jerry Cadorette training to have that match.
Yep.
Okay, so November, December, January, February, March. There we go. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
Yes.
I'll answer.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Awesome.
350, right? And I would come in ridiculously strong. So I would freaking love to, come in. I would just love to see how strong I could get, right? Because, I screw around with the weights now, and I do I do just stupid lifts, right? And because with muscle memory, it just remembers shit.
Yeah.
So the weight I do heavy weight for unbelievably amounts of reps, right? I'm sure you know my numbers, right?
Yeah.
I do like 225 for 60, and then I'll do like 315 for 35, and then I'll finish with 405 for 12 to 15, and then I'll go back and do 225 for like 30, right? And so I want endurance and I want strength, and I do it alone, so I can't go super heavy. So I just do tons of sets with tons of reps with those weights, right? So 225, my goal, right? What I want, my personal goal, and I will hit it before I go against Hermes, promise, right? Is I'm going to bench press 225 pounds on the bar with one hand. One hand, right?
One hand.
Yeah, I had it.
What is wrong with you, Jerry? That's ridiculous strength. That's awesome. Of course, that's awesome because I want to see you with arm wrestling being in such a purple patch. I want you for someone, yourself, Michael Devon, and a lot of the Europeans that were pulling in bloody garages and had to pay entry. I want you guys to get your big money matches paid for travel around the world. So that's why a part of me was glad because Genadi's still going to get big money matches because Genadi's Genadi. But now you've entered the realm, Pin Genadi. So now I hope you get all these big money matches. It's going to be great. Dennis Smith, thank you very much for your super chat. He says, Jerry, big love from New Jersey. Remember, they'll never forget the day they doubted Big Daddy, Jerry Cadorette. You on arm wrestling Mount Rushmore. Congrats, brother. Benji Max says, Jerry is so easy to interview. Need him on live more, mate. Whenever Jerry taps me on the shoulder and says, Aussie, I'm coming on, I will clear my schedule. Absolutely. Jerry and I have a lot of laughs and carrying on. And he's doing very well on his channel, so make sure you've all subscribed to his channel. White Wolf again with another super chat. Thank you very much, you dead set legend. He says, Jerry, what weight do you feel you need to be able to catch and or flash Levan? Your endurance is legendary. Levan, who knows? But I'm guessing he gasses out before you do.
The weight that I set in my mind was 350, but the weight I'm going to shoot for is 355, right? And I've never been that heavy, right? My heaviest I've ever been is 340. And I felt bulky. I felt like blown up, right? But I want to be if there is such a thing as a leaner 355. I've been riding my bike a lot, and that's where I was working on cardio. You see, I know it's got to be historic.
Sorry, it's the visual. You're this big monstrous man, and I've just seen you with a helmet that doesn't fit. Just pedal it away.
I don't wear a helmet when I'm riding. The wife's wearing her helmet. She's got the. I can show you where the fuck it is, right over there. We bought one of those little. Let's go look at it. Right, here's my bike right here. Right, so that's a Specialized Como 6, whatever the fuck it is. But and then we bought this thing, right, where we put our 3-year-old in. Can you see it?
Yep.
So cool. Put it in there, and I'd rather be in this though, right?
Very sexy.
So, yeah, it's a ZR1, and so we go for the rides, and it's got to look comical, right? To see someone 330 pounds riding a bicycle up and down the street, but we go like 10 miles, so it's fun.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I can't wait to buy one of those for my daughter. The Schmo says Jerry is the only one out of the top 5 that is actually built like a big jacked mofo. Naturally, his frame is just much bigger than the other folks, and he has the most potential, in my opinion. Oh, they're all coming out. They're all coming. No, I love the Schmo. Actually, the Schmo was one that was legit on Jerry from the start. Parker Kimber says, Jerry, can I swing by for some press practice? You're a beast. Keep it up. There you go. Parker Kimber, wherever you're from. I don't know. Do you have open training sessions and let anyone invite, or do you go to training sessions?
No. We train on Wednesday nights at Jimmy Fitzsimmons' house in Bridgewater. So, and he's got an open door policy, lets everyone come. And the more the merrier. We got a good group of guys, and it's because of them I was able to do so well. Alex started bringing bands, and then we'd let people use the band so I could go against them, kind of do a round robin, and let people hit on me, and I'd catch them and then hold them in their strongest point, and then I'd have to bring them back from wherever their strongest point was, and pin them, from wherever, right? So I'd hold them for about 10, 15 seconds and with a band, and then bring them back through the band, through themselves and whatnot. So it's kind of cool.
There you go. There you go, Parker. Just head up Mr. Fitzsimmons and you can go train. BT with the super chat. Thank you very much. Says Jerry, I thought for sure you'd get smoked by Genadi 3-0, but you proved a lot of people wrong. You are the man. And the hope of the US. New fan here. How could you not be a fan of Jerry in the first place? Like, just in general. When Jerry won on Saturday, I was jumping up and down like a little kid at Christmas who got the best present.
Me too.
Well, I just love the big. It's one of my favorite celebrations. It's awesome, and everyone is there, guys. We might wrap it up there. I've probably had Jerry 20 minutes longer than I should. So 202 people in the chat. If you can just quickly like this video. Head over to Jerry's channel and make sure you've hit the subscribe, which I'm sure you have all done. Then I believe that that Evan Burgoyne is going to go on live after me. Beers with Bad Company. It's going to be awesome there. Jerry Cadorette, first of all, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much. And I feel pretty honoured that that you picked me to be the first one to get the interview.
See, my first one was you.
Very, very appreciative. Guys.
Everyone, remember I said this. This version of Jerry that you see right now, wait till you see the version that shows up in November. Oh, my goodness. We are going to talk completely different. And then imagine, let's see that I evolved from this. And I don't think I look like a can of shit, but I mean, you know, I'm definitely strong, right? So then the version you're going to see in November. And then after I beat Hermes, the version that we're going to see if I can lock in that match with Levant.
There it is. There it is. What a way to finish off the show. Absolutely love it. You've heard it there. Now, what we need everyone to do is talk to Engen and say, we've got to get the Aussie arm wrestler over to do some announcing or something like that so I can be involved because I want to come over and see that match. Guys, thank you so much. You're dead set legend. I'm the Aussie arm wrestler. This has been Jerry Cadorette, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, guys.